Good morning. It's the 10th of October 2021 and I'm just going to do a shout out for this new book here. It's the Child's Story Bible, and it's been adapted from the Bible text by a lady called Catherine Vos. Now, I'd never come across this lady ever before, but apparently she has a good pedigree. She was the wife of a great theologian and exegete, Dr. Geerhardus Vos. Isn't that interesting? And he worked out of Princeton Theological Seminary. But she was an author in her own right. And after looking through the bookstore after bookstore, this was in the early 1900s, I presume, or 1920s, she looked through bookstore after bookstore for a book that would present the excitement and warmth of the stories found in the Bible. She came up empty. So she made it a lifelong project to write one herself. Children's Bible Story was the result, and it's published by the Banner of Truth. This lady was born in 1865, and she married Geerhardus Vos in 1894. Married for 43 years, etc., etc. She died in 1937, so I think she completed this book maybe 1936. So why am I pushing this at you this morning? Well, I'm not pushing, I'm just bringing it to your attention. I don't know what you believe about the Bible. You know, do you just think it's a nice piece of writing? It's a literary piece of writing. It's you can appreciate that. You can appreciate the poetry and the history and the story and all the rest of it in it. The Bible's held up by many literary experts over the decades as being well worth reading. So this is the Child's Story Bible, and it goes through the Bible and it picks out all the best stories, and it sort of adapts them to the eyes of a 6 or 7 year old through to a 12, 14 year old, and it covers most of the Bible stories. That's quite an extensive book actually, and it goes Old Testament, New Testament as well. And I'm looking at there's 477 pages, there's 576 pages, and it goes on, and it goes on, and it goes on. So it goes on, it's nearly 800 pages, and there are numerous illustrations. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. 26 illustrations. And you know what? These illustrations were the brainchild, the creation of a good friend of mine. You wouldn't think I had any good friends who could do work like this. So, Moses and the bulrushes, Isaac on the altar. That's a difficult one. Looks like Noah's Ark. And there's Cain murders Abel. And who is this friend of mine? Well, let's turn to the back. And in small writing down here, this edition, including 26 colour illustrations by Neil McCardle. And we know David and Helen, Neil's mum and dad, and his sister Pamela very well. So I thought I'd do a shout out for it. And if you're interested in children's stories and children's Bible stories, written in an exciting way, interesting way, way that young people would, can relate to, because let's face it, the stories and writing of the Bible, especially and I'm not trying to run it down, but I'm just stating fact. The writing in the King James Version is very difficult to follow at times. So you might want to get hold of this book. Don't know the price. And there's affirmation by a number of different people. Okie doke. Just published quite recently. And I've just come up with the price of this. I'm just looking here, and it ranges from 17 quid right through to nearly 25 quid. So if you do a wee bit of shopping around, you'll get it that bit cheaper.